Do you want to make money online but have no experience? I'm sure you do because honestly, I've been there before. And you probably found this video by searching that term. So how do you make money online with no experience? And this term is kind of like an oxymoron because in learning how to make money online, you are going to inevitably gain experience. So before we jump in, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm coming out with new content every single day and like the video. It really helps me reach more people like yourself and share my content with more people on YouTube. So if you have no experience with online stores, creating any passive products, e-products, e-commerce, or being an online service provider, or even starting your own business, this is going to be a really good introductory video on the principles and really the basics of driving internet traffic into a sales funnel and converting that traffic into sales. In the beginning, traffic types and sources. There are really only two types of traffic that I'm going to talk about. One is organic traffic and one is paid ad traffic or ad traffic. The first is by getting your content, this organic traffic, it's by getting your content in front of people who are already on the apps like Google, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Because there's already thousands, if not millions of people looking for the type of content you want to create around your business. And that is traffic that you can create yourself if you do it right, and it can be extremely successful and profitable. If you're not good at doing that, there's always marketing agencies, or you can even run your own ads to artificially generate that traffic on platforms. Now, granted, I only recommend really doing this on either Google, YouTube, or Facebook because currently those have their highest returns. TikTok is starting to have a higher return just because their ads are so unique and different, and a lot of them really don't appear to be ads unless you notice the sponsored square right in the bottom left-hand corner, which actually would be this corner, but it's backwards because of video. I always get turned around. Anyways, and paid traffic can be a really good option for you. I really don't recommend it to most people because it costs more money than organic traffic, and organic traffic is more sustainable. A lot of it can be evergreen traffic, so it lasts forever, especially on Google or YouTube or Pinterest where you're working with search engines. But paid traffic is really good, especially if you're selling a product and you have inventory in your warehouse and you need to move it. It can also be good if you're a service provider and you have a lot of time that isn't filled up with either coaching or projects or consulting or whatever it may be. So it really comes down to generating one of those two types of traffic and driving it into a sales funnel. Now, what is a sales funnel? So it's always those link in bios or links to the website in the description that you see on these social media platforms. It's where you drive your traffic. And you get tons of views, and of those views, you're going to get so many people who view your profile. And of those people who view your profile, only so many, like let's say 10%, which would be a relatively high amount, are going to click on that link in your bio and go to your website. Now, you need to have a website set up. Typically, if you're going to do this, you don't always have to. There's some workarounds for that with other platforms and providers where you don't necessarily need your own website. If you want to be in business for a long time, I always recommend you set up your own website and get a good domain name for that. Granted, it will probably change, and most businesses fail. 80% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just facing with the realities. Before my business that I started right now with my wife, Laney Media, I had two other businesses that I attempted to start and they both failed. So failure is relatively common, but going back to the website, you want to make sure you have good copy on it. This is the wording that will convert your views on the website, your page views, into sales. You also want to make sure that from your social media platform to the point where they can hit checkout or buy, it's only 3 clicks, because on average you only have 3 clicks before someone will navigate away from your page. That's the attention span of your average viewer. So keeping that in mind, you want to create this sales funnel that drives the traffic to your website and has options for your products or services probably on the page you send them to. It might be your sales page that you want to send them to and not your home page. It just depends on how your website is set up and laid out. And from there, you want to make sure you have testimonials on the page, perhaps videos showing the product or service as well. Anything to really help you convert that lead, that page view, that user that's on your website into a sale. A great way to make sure you can convert these leads that you're getting on your website into sales is by providing some sort of a freebie that people can download, and you in exchange get their email from them, and you email the freebie to them that they can then download. Because this is a great way to build up an email list and shows that these people had interest in your products or services but weren't quite yet ready to buy, and then you can follow up with email campaigns later on to sell them on your products or services, or even upsell them if they did purchase your products or service after they got the freebie as well. So that's part of your sales funnel. It's how you follow up. You want to enter these leads really into a CRM as well. You can integrate a CRM like Salesforce into your system, and it can be a very good way to follow up with leads, especially if you're doing bigger contracts or larger, more expensive upper end products that you are selling. Now, the last thing you want to make sure you have set up at the end of this is your payment. I really prefer Stripe. You can use PayPal, but I really don't trust PayPal because of how it will keep your money. A lot of the times waiting for the end user to verify the transaction that they received your product or service. It's honestly why I prefer Stripe, because they're really easy to work with and it integrates well with just about any WordPress website out there. Another good option if you want to pay less of a fee for the transaction, but are okay with paying a fee to them to use their service, is HoneyBook. They're about 1.5% transaction fee compared to like 2.97%, I do believe it is, with Stripe. So you're going to save quite a bit of money there over the long run. You really only want to do this though if you're going to do more than $50,000 in sales. I do believe I worked this math out a couple months ago, because their fee is I think about $100 to $200 a month depending on the package you go with. But on the flip side, with HoneyBook, it does integrate, I do believe, a CRM and a calendar and multiple other services as well, so you can follow up with everyone within that one system. And of course, I've been talking about systems a ton. If you do want to make money online and be really successful, you need to make sure to have these systems in place. It's really going to make your life easier. For example, if you're an online service provider, imagine being able to sell directly and not just have people sign up for your services, compared to you have to sell them in the DMs, then you have to physically send them a contract through DocuSign, and then you physically have to send them an invoice as well. It is much more clunky, and it really will hinder your workflow and process. And instead of spending your time creating content that gets you the views and more people into your funnel, you're doing these miscellaneous tasks. So making sure you have your system set up so it's extremely streamlined is ideal if you're starting an online business and want to make money online. And at this point, we have checked out with the customer. You always want to make sure you do get their email at this point, their phone number, all the information you can. That way you can follow up with them in the future. Also, if you're a service provider, you're going to be working with them, whether it's a one-time deal or a program. It really depends on what you're selling, but you want to make sure you have their information to work with them as well. And that basically takes you from start to finish of generating the traffic, whether it's organic or paid, through your sales funnel and converting those views into leads and sales. I hope this video really helped you. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment them down below. I will reply. And be sure, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps me a lot reach more people and share what knowledge and information I have to help others build their business and their financial futures. So thank you for watching this video and have a great day.